forecast. Yeah, it gets pretty dirty in here. We've got wind against current, and it makes for some pretty choppy conditions. That is the Johnstone Strait. It's based on the picture up top, so if the picture's crooked, then that's the way it is.
Hi.
Hi. This is our second video in the series. We left off with trying to head up the Johnstone Strait, and we just anchored for a brief time to try and wait the worst of the wind against current conditions. And it wasn't forecast, which was a bit of a surprise. And so the circumstance forced us to move on, and conditions were less than ideal, but
it wasn't comfortable.
No, it wasn't comfortable. We had to ease the power back just to be kind to Penta. So as we were heading out, after that brief anchorage, we were looking for a place to find refuge from the conditions. And
we did have hopes that we could keep going, but it just wasn't possible. If anything, I think the waves were a bit bigger.
What we could see when we first went out wasn't the full force, because there was a point that was deflecting a lot of the waves, and once we got around that point, similar to when we came into that area the first time, we were getting the full effect. And so we chugged along, and we safely arrived in Port Neville at the government dock.
We ended up going into this anchorage that's actually got a government dock there, and it's called Port Neville. And Port Neville is a family homestead. They ran a store and a post office since 1894, I want to say, and they still allow people to walk around their home, which is so generous of them. And it really was a port of refuge for us. We were there for 2 days waiting for the wind to subside. So that was just a lovely discovery for us. And
Port Neville ended up being quite a treat, actually. We were really lucky to find a spot on the dock, and we ended up there for 2 nights, I believe it was. Yeah, 2 nights. This was the longest running post office in Canada.
I know you don't really care, but these are all swans and thrushes that are singing.
We found the source for the Home Depot 2x4s. Only the premium ones. It's a big winch system. Does not look like it's been used in a while. You're obviously not going to eat one of these then.
No.
Yeah, whole wheat flour.
Wish I could. It's delicious.
Well, if you take your glasses off, the waves don't look bad at all. And see what we can pull out of the water.
Yeah, as soon as the hook touched the bottom, I had a bite and I had something on there, but it's definitely gone now.
Bugger.
But I'll try again. That was like instantaneous.
Stuff on the internet about catching salmon sugar cure overnight, and that helps because I have to fish for a bowl.
So once we were able to continue up the Johnstone Strait, the conditions were really favorable. Hi.
What do you think of today's conditions?
It's so much nicer. And the sun's coming out. There's really heavy cloud cover, but it's moving through. And we were able to cruise by Robson Bight, which is an orca sanctuary. There's a rubbing beach there for them, and we were also able to stop and watch the marine wildlife. There's a channel between two islands that just seems to be a natural congregation area for humpback whales and Dall's porpoises. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, the nice thing about this area is that they hang out there to eat. So once there's whales there, they stay there and you can watch them for a long time. They don't move on really fast.
Yeah.
So that's the nice part of it.
And we headed out, but the conditions were good, so we decided to just continue straight on, and we came out near Alert Bay.
They take a lot of pride in their culture and history, and they've got a beautiful cultural center where items from their potlucks had been confiscated when they were banned and made illegal, and they were able to gather these items back into the community, and they're on display there, and it is a beautiful center of cultural expression and celebration. So it was really nice to visit there. It was a nice little quiet town and marina. So we were there for a little while, and
If you can time somewhere now around the change, around slack, when they change directions, it's a great time to see the marine wildlife. And we were pretty lucky that we ran into close enough to those times a few times.
this is a good way to start the trip for marine life, though.
Yeah, up to
Good
that point we
introduction.
were mildly disappointed that we hadn't seen anything. And up to that point, our focus had been getting north. We were pushing, when the weather allowed, we wanted to push north and to get to a point where we could wait to go around Cape Caution. I was worried that we were going to miss this area a little bit because of weather, and it was going to force us to miss our crossing for Cape Caution. So it was pleasantly surprised to get there and see that we had options. Even if the wind was blowing, there were still places to go, which was nice because, as Anna had said, it was not something that we wanted to miss. The next day we went for a little tour. We decided to spend a couple days there waiting for our weather window, and we found I forget how many there were quite a few, sea otters playing, which was quite fun. We did a little tour around Malcolm Island, I believe it was, and and they were really cute. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to get a lot of good video footage or even photos of this. One of the regrets we have on this trip was we didn't upgrade our video capability before we went on the trip, and so we just couldn't zoom in on anything. So we've got some distant shots of the whales and that sort of thing, which you'll have already seen.
But it's okay because videos that are coming have better footage. Just wait. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a little teaser.
I will try not to cough now.
So after a couple of days of being at Alert Bay, we were waiting for our weather window to go around Cape Caution, which came, and we took it, and we made our way around Cape Caution. So the next video will highlight that part of the trip. So that was a big undertaking, and it was we felt proud that we did it so successfully. Anyway, so we hope you enjoy this video as we work our way up Johnstone Strait and see a few communities along the way.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and we'd love to hear your feedback if there's anything you'd like to see or things you didn't like. And add a comment, a like, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Thanks.
Thanks.